Welcome to Book Banter, classic and modern reads, where every page sparks a conversation. Here, we dive into timeless classics and today's best-selling novels, bringing thoughtful discussions, reviews, and reflections on the stories that shape us. Whether you're revisiting an old favorite or discovering a new book, we're here to explore the characters, themes, and timeless truths within every page. So, grab your favorite book, settle in, and don't forget to subscribe for more engaging conversations with us. Let's get started.
Welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're going to be tackling something a little different. You guys have asked for a deep dive into a book and a specific book at that P.T. Barnum's autobiography, Struggles and Triumphs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think most people know Barnum as kind of the quintessential showman, the humbug king, but this book promises to be so much more than just a biography.
Absolutely. It really offers a glimpse into the man, his philosophies, the world that he lived in.
Right.
And, covers everything from childhood hustles all the way through his rise as this entertainment mogul.
I love that. And that's what I'm so excited about. I'm a sucker for a good story, and this book seems to be packed with them.
Oh, it is.
But I also think that we can pull out some insights for folks who might be budding entrepreneurs or marketers or even just people who love a good read.
Absolutely. And what's interesting, too, is that, Barnum doesn't shy away from failures or some of his more controversial moments.
Oh, interesting.
He lays it all out there, which makes it feel surprisingly honest and relatable for
a book from that era.
Let's dive right in. One of the first things that grabbed my attention was how Barnum's entrepreneurial spirit was evident from a very young age. This isn't somebody who was just born a showman.
Yeah.
Imagine a 12-year-old selling cherry rum and cookies at a militia training day.
That's wild, right?
Yeah.
It speaks to his innate ability to see an opportunity and capitalize on it. That's not a lemonade stand. He's catering to an audience with a specific product.
Yeah.
It's like a mini marketing masterclass in his childhood.
I love that. And then there's this great story about his first trip to New York City. His father gave him $1. And instead of buying sensible things, Barnum decided to stock up on these trinkets that he thought were super valuable that he was going to resell back home for a huge profit.
Yes, the classic tale of not-so-valuable gifts.
Yeah.
Youthful enthusiasm meeting the realities of the marketplace.
Totally.
But what I find fascinating is you see the seeds of his success in this misstep.
He was already thinking about value, buying, selling, creating a profit.
Right. And it's a great reminder that even the most successful entrepreneurs often start with a few stumbles along the way.
Right.
And it makes Barnum seem much more human, right? Like,
totally.
Not just this, larger-than-life character.
But it humanizes him.
So, okay, then we have this concept of Ivy Island. Now, Ivy Island was not a real island.
Right.
It was a piece of land that Barnum convinced himself he had inherited as a child. More of a fantasy kingdom than anything else.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting part about this imagined ownership. It speaks to Barnum's early fascination with creating value, even if that value wasn't tangible.
I like that.
It's like he was practicing to become the Prince of Humbug, right?
Yeah.
Creating these illusions that capture people's attention.
That's a brilliant connection. You're right. You can see that his later success wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah.
He was honing his skills early on and understanding the power of perception and storytelling.
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit through his childhood, and we get to his early ventures into the world of business.
Okay.
And we're talking like pre-museums, pre-grand spectacles. He dabbled in everything from storekeeping to lotteries, and even had a stint as a newspaper editor.
I think this period is crucial to understanding his development as an entrepreneur. This is him immersed in this bustling world of commerce, learning the ropes, experimenting, and constantly looking for opportunities.
Right.
This was a time of immense growth in America, and he was right in the thick of it.
Totally. Yeah, and it seems like he was gathering all the tools and the skills he needed for his future successes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get to this very pivotal moment, his introduction to Joyce Heth, who he marketed as George Washington's 161-year-old nurse.
Yes. Now, this episode is undeniably controversial.
Totally.
And Barnum's role in it has been heavily debated.
Of course.
But regardless of the ethics of it, it demonstrates his early grasp of publicity and showmanship.
Yes.
He knew how to create a story, generate buzz, and tap into public curiosity.
And I think this kind of leads us to this concept of humbug, which Barnum famously embraced.
Yeah.
But humbug is often misunderstood. It's not simply about trickery or outright lies.
Right. It's more about creating a spectacle, using exaggeration and showmanship to draw in crowds.
Totally.
He understood that entertainment was about escapism, offering people an escape from the mundane.
It's so interesting, and his shows might have been full of humbug, but they also offered genuine entertainment.
Yes.
Curiosities from around the world, a chance to see something truly unique.
That's right. It's this balance that made him successful.
Right.
He knew how to tap into people's desire for wonder and amusement while still providing a show that people felt was worth their money.
And nowhere was this more evident than in his creation of the American Museum.
Yes.
Now, this wasn't just a museum in the traditional sense. It was a constantly evolving spectacle, a showcase of the strange, the wonderful, and the bizarre.
It really does become a microcosm of his entrepreneurial genius. He's
Right, yeah.
constantly adding attractions, finding new ways to surprise and delight his audience.
Understanding the importance of keeping things fresh, always having something new to offer.
He was a master of reinvention and always one step ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And, speaking of reinvention, he really had this knack for turning mishaps into opportunities.
He did.
Like the time a drunken actor stumbled onto the stage during a performance of Richard III.
Oh, wow.
So instead of panicking, most people would have panicked, Barnum just incorporates him into the show.
Wow.
Turning a potential disaster into a hilarious spectacle.
Talk about thinking on your feet.
Right. It's about embracing the unexpected and coming up with creative solutions.
Absolutely a hallmark of a true entrepreneur.
Okay, so we have to talk about the exhibits themselves, and I think the Fiji mermaid
Oh, yes.
really captured the public's imagination.
Now, we know today that this was not a real mermaid,
Right,
but a clever fabrication.
right,
But back then, it was a sensation.
right.
And it's fascinating how he orchestrated the whole thing.
He didn't just display it, he created a story around it, leaked rumors to the press, planted seeds of doubt and intrigue, fueled public curiosity to a fever pitch.
He was a master manipulator of the media even back then.
He understood the power of anticipation, building up the excitement before revealing the main event.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that's still used today.
Yeah.
Think about modern day marketers. They use social media to create that buzz, to generate that anticipation.
Exactly. He was a pioneer in understanding those principles of public relations.
So it's amazing how many of his techniques are still used today, just in a digital format.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's the woolly horse, another exhibit that played on this fascination with the exotic and the unbelievable.
Yes, this one is pure humbug. A cleverly disguised horse to look like some strange mythical creature.
Right.
But again, it wasn't just about deception, it was about the experience, the spectacle, the feeling of being transported to a world beyond the ordinary.
Totally. He was selling a story, a sense of wonder,
Yeah.
and people were more than happy to buy into it.
It's that reminder that we all have this desire to be entertained, to be amazed, to experience something outside of our daily lives.
Yeah, and Barnum really understood that human psychology,
He was a showman, but also a keen observer of human nature, understanding what made people tick, what sparked their curiosity,
Yes.
and what kept them coming back for more. And that's what makes this autobiography so compelling. It's not just like a dry recounting of events, it's a peek behind the curtain,
Right.
revealing the man behind the myth.
Yeah, and he doesn't shy away from his failures either. His financial struggles, even his personal doubts.
Right.
Like he writes about the challenge of balancing his ambition with his family life, the toll that this constant hustle took on his relationships.
It's that reminder that even someone as successful as Barnum faced challenges just like all of us.
Totally. Yeah, it makes him seem much more human.
It does. It humanizes him.
Yeah, and it kind of makes his successes even more impressive because we see how much effort went into achieving them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just luck or talent. It was sheer determination and this willingness to learn from his mistakes.
Yeah. And that brings us to one of the more fascinating parts of the book, his discussion of the art of money getting.
Oh, yeah?
Now, this isn't just some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a collection of principles for success in life, in business, and in personal finance.
And he actually delivered lectures on this topic,
He did.
sharing his wisdom with audiences across the country.
And what's remarkable is how relevant those principles are, even today.
Totally.
He talks about finding your niche, offering something unique and valuable to the world, the importance of hard work, living within your means, saving, investing wisely.
Like a proto-self-help guide almost.
Yeah, for achieving financial stability and success.
And he also emphasizes the importance of reputation, of building trust with your customers and your partners.
Yes.
He knew that a good name was more valuable than any quick profit.
He was a master at understanding what people wanted. tapping into their desires and aspirations.
Oh,
And that's valuable in any field, whether you're an entrepreneur or an artist or just someone trying to navigate life.
Okay, but we can't talk about Barnum without talking about Jenny Lind, the Swedish Nightingale.
Oh, yes.
Bringing her to America was like his grandest venture.
Yeah, one of his most ambitious.
And the book offers such a fascinating behind-the-scenes look at this whole tour.
It's a story of risk-taking on a grand scale.
Totally.
I mean, Barnum had never even heard Lynn sing before he signed her to this massive contract.
Wow.
He was betting on her reputation, on his own ability to create a spectacle that would capture audiences.
And it paid off big time.
Yeah, it did.
The tour was a phenomenal success, both financially and culturally.
Solidified her status as an international star.
Cemented his reputation as a master showman.
Yes.
But the book also reveals some of the challenges.
Oh, of course.
The clashes of personalities, the logistical nightmares that came with managing such a complex undertaking.
Right.
I mean, Lind was a devout Christian and insisted on donating a large portion of her earnings to charity.
Right. Which sometimes, created some tension with Barnum's more profit-driven approach.
It's just such a fascinating dynamic, right? These two strong-willed individuals with very different worldviews.
Yeah, but they found a way to work together.
Yeah.
To achieve something extraordinary.
It's a reminder that success often involves collaboration, compromise, and navigating the complexities of human relationships.
Absolutely.
So, amidst all these successes, the book doesn't shy away from his failures either.
Of course not.
He details his financial struggles, bad investments, the times he trusted the wrong people and paid the price.
This is what makes him so relatable.
Totally.
He wasn't some infallible genius.
Right.
He made mistakes, he stumbled, he had to pick himself back up.
Yeah.
And it's that willingness to acknowledge those failures, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward that really sets him apart.
He was a man of relentless drive, always seeking new opportunities, always reinventing himself.
Right.
And his response to the fire that destroyed his beloved American Museum is a perfect example of this resilience.
Oh, a devastating blow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But instead of giving up, he just immediately starts planning for the future.
Yeah.
Focusing on rebuilding and coming back stronger.
It's a testament to his spirit, his unwavering belief in himself.
Totally. That fire could have broken him, but it didn't. And speaking of spirit, let's talk about his advocacy for temperance.
Okay.
Now, this might surprise some people, Barnum the showman,
Yeah.
This larger-than-life personality was a staunch supporter of the temperance movement.
Interesting.
He even delivered lectures, urging people to abstain from alcohol.
Wow. It shows, that even someone so focused on entertainment and spectacle had a deeper side.
Yeah.
A moral compass that guided his actions.
And it adds to the richness of this autobiography.
Right.
It's not just about success and failure. It's a reflection on life, on values, on using your influence for good.
It's a reminder that we're all multifaceted individuals, capable of great things, capable of making mistakes, and capable of using our experiences to make a positive impact on the world.
And Barnum, with all of his flaws and his contradictions, certainly did that. It's a reminder that life is messy.
Yeah.
Full of ups and downs, triumphs and setbacks.
Right.
And it's how we navigate those challenges that really defines us.
And I think what's particularly inspiring is how Barnum never stopped learning, never stopped evolving.
Right.
Even in his later years, he's still seeking out new ventures, new ways to entertain and engage the public.
He just had this insatiable curiosity, this drive to just keep pushing the boundaries and exploring the world and sharing that with his audience.
Think about his later traveling shows, his new museums.
Yeah.
This constant pursuit of novelty and spectacle.
He wasn't content to rest on his laurels.
No.
He was always looking for that next big thing.
Yeah, that next way to captivate and amaze.
And he understood that the world was constantly changing.
Right.
He had to adapt.
Absolutely, and never lost that entrepreneurial spirit, that spark of innovation that made him so successful.
And that's a powerful lesson for all of us.
It is.
In a world that's so rapidly evolving.
Yeah, we can't afford to become stagnant.
We have to embrace new ideas, step outside our comfort zones, keep learning, keep growing.
That's right.
And Barnum's autobiography is really a testament to that philosophy.
Yeah.
It's a story about a man who never stopped dreaming, never stopped hustling, and never stopped believing in the power of entertainment to bring joy and wonder to the world.
A book that can inspire challenge and entertain.
Absolutely.
And remind us that life is a grand spectacle full of possibilities if we dare to embrace it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into struggles and triumphs, I'm curious what resonated with you the most. What insights did you gain from Barnum's story? What lessons did you find particularly relevant to your own life or your own pursuits?
Because in the end, that's what makes a great book truly impactful, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about the story itself, but how that story connects with us, how it inspires us and makes us think differently about the world and our place in it.
Yeah. Barnum's legacy extends far beyond the museums and the spectacles.
Right.
He really left behind this wealth of wisdom,
Yeah.
a blueprint for success, and this reminder that life is meant to be lived to the fullest,
To the fullest.
with a sense of adventure, a touch of humbug, and a whole lot of heart.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to ponder the many facets of P.T. Barnum and the lessons he shared in his remarkable autobiography.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for joining us on Book Banter, Classic and Modern Reads. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you love this conversation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into both classic literature and today's must-read books. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what book you'd love to see next. We release new episodes every week, so stay tuned for more. Until next time, happy reading.